Well, folks, it's that time of year again. The Big Orange is getting ready to hit the field in 9 months and take on some of the toughest opponents in the country. And let me tell you, this season is shaping up to be a wild ride with an 11-2 record coming off of that. The Volunteers popping into the season. They finished the season at what? Number 6 in the country? And a quarterback competition that's hotter than Nashville hot chicken, which is something I know a lot about.
Broadcasting live from the only establishment in town that can't kick him out, his own basement. The world according to Rocket.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with that Wednesday dance. Hey, listen. If you like the show, hammer that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate it if you do. So many people who watch the show have not subscribed yet. Just, life gets in the way and you forget to subscribe. And I'm just here to remind you, if you would be so kind, hit that subscribe button, and I thank you in advance. What we're going to look at in today's video is the 2023 season for the Volunteers. First game is against Virginia in my hometown of Nashville. And I'm going to look at all of these teams. This past season, they were 3-7, 1-6 in the conference. They're really just not going to be a threat in any way that I can see. We see they played Illinois and Old Dominion. The games that they won, they just weren't very good competition. They lost to Syracuse, lost to Duke, lost to Louisville. They did beat Georgia Tech. That's of note. And they gave Miami a good game. Gave North Carolina a good game. They lost to Pitt. And, of course, tragic shooting that happened there with 3 of their players is totally sad, and they didn't get to finish their season. So it's going to be a rebuild for them in so many ways. Tennessee gets the win here in Nashville. Austin Peay. Austin Peay is 7-4 overall, 3-2 in the conference. I don't know. It's Austin Peay. Come on. It's just a different class of competition. This is a game where they're just picking up some cash, right? And that's cool. Alabama, they did play Alabama last year and kind of got smoked 34-0. However, you would think that Alabama would have beat them a little bit more better than that. And then we have Florida, the third game of the season. Okay, let's look at what they did this year. 6-7 overall, 3-5 in the conference. To me, that just seems like a huge dumpster fire down there. They have all kind of quarterback problems. I don't know whether you've been following it or not, but this kid, Jaden Rashada, who was supposed to be their hotshot new freshman quarterback coming in, supposedly had a $13 million deal in the NIL thing, and it fell apart. And for some reason, they just I don't know. Nobody's talking about this. I'm trying to get one of the press reporters, a fellow by the name of Will Thomas. I'm trying to get him on the show this week to find out what happened. But you see here, they had a miserable season. Anytime Florida goes 6-7 and 3-5 in the conference, that's painful for them. Here's their quarterback, Anthony Richardson, which I do not understand at all. The quarterback for Florida, he's a redshirt sophomore. Well, he's decided to go to the NFL. And I'm just going to tell you right now that this is going to be the biggest crash and burn I'll come up with since somebody. You can fill that in the comments. He's not going to make it in the NFL. Do you know why? Because he's not ready to go to the NFL. He's not even making it in college. Right? I mean, look at this. 6 and 7 and 3 and 5. That's not making it in college. And get this, he is now considered to be a first-round draft pick. Unbelievable. Ahead of our man, Hendon Hooker. But anyway, this is the guy that they have, that Napier went out and got. They got Wisconsin's backup quarterback, Graham Mertz. And allegedly they went through 24 quarterbacks. And this is the highest rated one that they saw. They made him an offer. He's coming to Florida. So he's going to be, more than likely, he's going to be their quarterback. Now, what had happened once Anthony Richardson is gone, they had a hotshot guy, Jalen Kitna, who's son of John Kitna. Oopsie, he got arrested. And they threw him off the team. I'm not sure why he got arrested. Then Marcus Stokes is the guy that supposedly used that racial slur, and he's out. And then Jaden Rashad. It's just a dumpster fire down there at Florida. So even though we are going to the swamp, and you have to take that seriously, all right? I don't care on any circumstance, you have to take that seriously. It's hard for a team to go down there and play football and win at the swamp. I say we win at the swamp this year. All right. So going into this game, we're 3-0. Coming out of that game, next thing up is South Carolina. Boom. Have I got my... No, wrong. UTSA. I'm dyslexic. Texas at San Antonio. All right, now Texas and San Antonio, they have a pretty good football team. 11-3 in the Conference USA. 8-0 in the conference. They ended up playing, who did they play? Troy and the Duluth Trading Cure Bowl. They won the championship against North Texas of the Conference USA. So they're not to be taken lightly, but this is going to be, I think, their first experience at Neyland, and they're going to get beat. All right, just different level of competition. That's all. So now we are 4-0 when South Carolina comes a knocking. Okay, let's look at South Carolina. 8-5, 4-4 in the conference. Meh, right? They did okay. They had they had 8 wins, but the highlight of this season for them was they had 3 wins that were pretty impressive. They beat Kentucky at Kentucky. They did beat Texas A&M just barely at home, with just they're kind of a dumpster fire down there as well. They lose to Missouri, and they beat Vanderbilt. They get killed by Florida at the swamp. You know what I'm saying? It's tough to play down there. And then they embarrass Tennessee, and then they squeak by Clemson. So they are to be respected. However, there's a bit of turmoil going on there. I mean, who's going to be their quarterback, right? There was some speculation that Spencer Rattlesnake will be going to the NFL. As it turns out, he's decided he's going to play his senior year and not go to the NFL just yet. But they're trying to get this guy as a backup, Devin Leary, who is North Carolina State's quarterback. It's all about the quarterback in today's football, right? It used to be about the running back and the lineman. But now it's about the quarterback. And particularly, it's more visible seeing as how you can transfer in and out of programs like crazy, right? But anyway, this is the guy that they got. Well, they didn't get him. They were going after him in case Spencer Rattlesnake was going to jump to the NFL. So anyway, they got this guy here coming in, or they're looking to get this guy coming in, and we'll see what happens. UCLA is looking for a quarterback. It's a pretty interesting article here. Auburn has reached out to this guy. Kentucky has reached out to this guy. And Oregon has reached out to this guy. This is the North Carolina State quarterback, Devin Leary. So we'll see where he ends up. Now, two things here that I will point out. This is as revenge game as a revenge game gets in the SEC. We know what happened last year with South Carolina at South Carolina. This is the definition of a revenge game. Regardless of what happened, we were embarrassed. We were embarrassed on the field, and we lost our best guy, Hendon Hooker. All right? These yo-yos are going to come here with a lot of bravado and, oh, we have Spencer Rattlesnake. He's our Lord and Savior, and we're going to win. No, you're not. You're going to get your ass throttled in this game. And I'm just going to, with deference to my good buddy, La Baguette, I'd like to hear your take on this, Bags. But my take is they're going to get throttled in Knoxville next season. Next, coming, let's see, Texas A&M. We got to go. Where's that game? I forget. Let me just take a look here and see where that game is. Where's that game, Rocket Man? I think it's at Texas A&M. No, it's at Neyland. Okay. All right. Good enough. I like that. I don't want them to wake up at home, right? So all of a sudden and give us a harder game than necessary. The 5-7, 2-6 in the conference, and it's their own little dumpster fire down there. Jimbo Fisher getting paid way too much money to be an old guy like himself and not made any kind of transition into a new style of football that Josh Heupel, Art Briles, and Mike Leach and all those guys introduced 10 years ago. It's just not. It's Texas A&M is just not a very good team right now. They did have a good win at the end of the season. They beat LSU, of course, and then they beat Alabama. So, yeah, whatever. That was a big surprise, wasn't it, to everybody? I'm taking Tennessee here, right? So far we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're 6-0 going into Alabama. Unfortunately, we have to play down at Tuscaloosa. Let me clear the phone. That might be someone calling to offer me a $1 million NIL deal. No, just another bill collector. Okay. All right, here we go. There we are. So Alabama, 11-2, same record as us. Alabama is so tough at home. They are so tough. Now, they just hired this new coordinator, offensive coordinator, to replace O'Brien. And there's a lot of controversy about this. And to be honest, I'm not 100% sure why. I'm going to do more research on that just so I can figure that out. I'm just not sure why. But this is the game I'm most scared of all season in terms of, number one, it's a huge revenge game for Alabama, right? Huge. And for that reason, that makes me nervous. Playing at Tuscaloosa, and it's a revenge game. And Alabama, I don't care what anybody says, they were embarrassed by what happened in Knoxville. Okay. So this is going to be, I think, our toughest game all season. And I am not prepared to say that Tennessee is going to. Tennessee's going to. See, I can't even say it. But I'm just throwing up a caution flag. If they are going to. You know what I'm saying? If they are it's going to be here. All right. There is some good news. Bryce, what's his bucket? Bryce Young, he's gone. And I'm glad he's gone. He's going to be playing in the NFL somewhere. So we don't know who's, excuse me, we don't know who's going to fill that position, but it will be him. And that's good news for me. All right. Then we go to Kentucky. And let's see what they did last year. 7-6, 3-5 in the conference. Yawn. They're kind of meh on the road. Very underachieving football team. And I am surprised that they sucked so bad this year because they were pretty good the year before. And I'm also surprised that Will Levis is being taunted as a first-round quarterback. Let me just say this. Do these numbers, 7-6 overall, 3-5 in the conference, does this look like a first-round quarterback should be leading this team and going into the first round of the NFL draft? I say no. I say bull hockey. Then we move on to the next week, and it's UConn, and it's really kind of, it kind of speaks for itself. 6-7. Yeah, they haven't really played anybody or beat anybody that is of note, and I don't see that getting any better or improving when they come to Knoxville next year. So that's another win. Then we have Missouri, 6-7. 4-6, 46%, 3-5 in the conference. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. He got last year, the coach from Missouri got a big raise, and he was making more than Heupel, and now I think he was making $6 million a year. Now Heupel's making $9 million a year. That's a little bit more in line, seeing as how they got beat like 142-6 or something, whatever that score was. So I'm putting, even though it is a revenge game, I'm putting this one in the win column for Tennessee. And then here's the best game of the year, Georgia. I've got no intel on this. What can you say? Here's what I say: they're 15-0, national champs twice. They're not going to get any better. They're just not. They're as good as they're going to be. So, given that, and I don't know. You know what I think? I'm hoping this is not the case, but I'm thinking, I don't even want to say this to jinx anything. I think Tennessee has an excellent chance of winning this football game. Not on paper, right? Not on paper, but I think they have an excellent chance. I think they'll fight hard. And one of the reasons that we got our butts kicked so badly last year was because it was at Georgia. It would have been a completely different situation had it been at Tennessee. And this year it is at Tennessee. And listen to me. Listen to me when I tell you. I think Tennessee is going to be even better this year than they were last year. That's what I think. I think these defensive kids are coming in, and I think they're going to be so much better. They'll be young, they'll be green, but here's why. So we got that really good linebacker from BYU, we got the corner from BYU, and we've got these Jordan Matthews and I forget a couple of the names off the top of my head. But these defensive backs, guess what they're going to be doing every day of their life? They're going to be playing against and defending against the best offense in football. And that's going to say a lot. They're going to be playing and defending against Georgia every day in practice. They're going to get good fast. Do you believe me? Do you agree with me? Hit me up in the comments. Let me know about that point right there. And that's why I think we're going to be really, really, really much better this year than we were last season. And then, of course, our good friends at Vanderbilt, you know what? They're not, 5-7 overall, 2-6 in the SEC. There was a brief little moment where they had a couple of wins and everybody got excited. Oh, look out for Vanderbilt. They're back. Man, they're not back. I'm sorry. They're not back. I doubt they'll ever be back. They're just not, it's for dentists and lawyers and doctors and research scientists and whatever. It's not a kick-ass football school. So I am saying, what am I saying? I'm saying 11-1 in the season, worst 10-2. That's what I'm saying. What are you saying? Let me know in the comments below. And that's a wrap on the preseason predictions from very far away. Take them with a grain of salt. What do I know? It's time to gear up for the start of spring training in March. Get ready for the big show on April 15th for the spring game. We will know a little bit about our team at that point. It'll be like a little tease. Season's going to be a doozy, and I can't wait to see these guys and what they have in store for us. So grab your popcorn and your orange and white overalls, and let's get ready for some volunteer football. Go Big Orange. See you in the next video. As always, this episode is brought to you by LuxuryTravelNashville.com. Whether you're going around the world or around the corner, just call Deb. She will hook you up. 615-863-1263. Or you can visit their website, LuxuryTravelNashville.com.